You are live.
Waiting for Buttcrack. Hi, everybody.
Can you see the chat, Angel?
I can see the chat. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. My screen doesn't show that we're live yet. Oh, yes, I can see the chat now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know if you were on a computer or if you were on a phone.
There we go. Just get rid of the echo.
You sound good on my end.
Okay. I just muted my YouTube side. Hello, everybody. So...
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't. Oh, it does tell us we've got 19 people there.
Mm-hmm.
So cool. So what have you been doing today? I already know what you've been doing today, but tell the people at home what you've been doing today.
I've been practice welding all day. Oh man, I should grab my art piece and show it to you guys. I've got like this art captain welder that was sent to me. I showed in my last, like my quick little impromptu live that I did on my channel in my garage. But it's like this welder with like all these functions, and I've never welded before. So I came out to my garage today to like do some practice welds and try to figure out the settings and stuff, and watched a couple of YouTube videos actually of guys just like explaining like what it should sound like and stuff. So yeah, I like just welded like a whole bunch of junk together. It's like the ugliest thing I'll probably ever make in my life, hopefully.
But that's the idea, right? The first thing's the ugliest, worst thing.
Yeah, I definitely wasn't even trying. And then I just like, I'm going to grab it. Actually, I'll show you. I mean, I shouldn't say I wasn't trying, because I was trying to have nice welds. I definitely was not trying to make an art piece. It reminds me of like a nookshuk, you know, like the native rock. And then I like welded a handle onto it. That's like a weapon.
That's your ice scraper.
It's an ice scraper. I know, it's like, this could be like an art piece. It could totally be metaphorical of someone's like hard life of doing whatever, scraping ice, I guess. Like, but yeah, I've got some like, all right. I mean, definitely some like ugly welds on there, but some all right, decent ones too. It like took me a bit just to figure out. It's heavy. I'm like probably used like half a roll of wire making that thing.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a terrible welder. I can weld good enough to like put two pieces of metal together on a farm. Like,
yeah.
Kind of application, like where it doesn't matter what it looks like and it doesn't have to be like structural. It just needs to like go back together long enough for you to get the tractor out of the field and move on.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I'm just like brand new at welding. So I've probably got like maybe an hour max of welding under my belt now with all of those welds on that thing.
Yeah.
But it's definitely like a skill worth having, I think.
Yeah, that's something I want to learn more of, like welding and fabrication and that kind of stuff. It's like there's so much of like what we're playing with where you need to be able to do that and
totally.
And I have a funny story about welding. Years ago, I had grown, my hair's pretty long right now, but I had grown it even longer. It was like almost down to my shoulders. One of my buddies gave me a haircut at work, and he gave me a mullet, and it was awesome. I looked cool. I had the coolest, curliest mullet ever. Yeah. I loved my mullet. And then that evening, he and I were working on a truck, and I had to weld some bolts in a peanut cover for where the cam gear is. And I did like all of them perfectly. The bolts were like stripped out, and I was so excited. I was like, oh, I have the power of mullet welding. And then I went home, and Tiffany saw my hair, and she's like, this is terrible. If you don't cut your hair, I'm divorcing you. And so I got my haircut that same night, and then I lost my welding powers.
Oh my gosh. No. It's like welding powers, marriage. Yeah.
Like, you know, wasn't there a guy in the Bible like that? I don't know. I'm not good at church stuff.
Yeah, Samson.
Yeah, that one. Samson,
like, got his haircut and then was weak. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all in the hair, guys. It's all in the hair. What do you think? I keep mine so, I don't know, obnoxious.
I would say it's obnoxious. Got awesome.
Yeah, I know. It's like definitely like got the 80s vibes going on. Like mullets are totally coming back though.
Yeah, they are.
All the kids, like literally like little kids, like little boys now, it's like they all want mullets.
Yeah, you go to a little league baseball game here, it's like every other kid has a mullet. It's funny.
I was just wonder, like, I feel it. I mean, like, I don't remember the days of mullets being like the thing, but I'm just like, were they ever really that popular? Like as popular as they are now?
I don't know. I think it was a little bit before my time. Like I was just a kid or whatever.
Yeah. I see like a bunch of people from my channel on the chat. Chip, Zeus, definitely gives a butt crack effect.
Where was that?
The split screen definitely gives a butt crack effect.
Funny.
So suiting. Didn't you say you got the name of your channel because your kid was like said something about your butt crack hanging out when you ride your bike?
Yeah, that's how the whole thing started. I took a bike for a test ride, and I won't demonstrate on screen because no one will want to see that. But yeah, my shirt came up, and I was just wearing a t-shirt, and he's like, "Your butt crack's hanging out," and then here we are 4 years later, and it's my full-time job in an LLC that files federal taxes every year.
Yeah, that's so good. I feel like it's so suiting though, because like how many of us know how many of the people we know who ride old bikes are like fat biker guys with their butt cracks hanging out? Yeah. It's like so suiting.
That's what I thought. I was like, it's so stupid, and yet, but like motorcycle people, or at least old motorcycle people, generally aren't that serious of people. And it's like no one's gonna care. It wouldn't be a good name for an accounting firm, but you know.
Butt crack accounting. Yeah,
might not go over so well.
No. Yeah, my name came like I think those kind of names are the best actually. Like when it's just like something that comes up, I guess like naturally more. It's just like, it's not like you didn't like sit around and have like a board meeting. Like, what are we going to name the channel? And then it would have been something lame, probably like Cycles on Wheels or something dumb like that. Right. Like, but my name, the name for my channel, Red Rider, I probably would have never actually named my channel Red Rider if I would have known it was going to actually go somewhere. But when I started putting videos on YouTube, like way back at the beginning, and I actually created the channel, it wasn't a thing in my mind, like to be a YouTube person, like, and have like be putting out videos regularly. Like it wasn't something that was actually in my mind. So like I called it Red Rider though, because there was this in the small town that I grew up in, there was these these drunk, like homeless natives. I don't know if they were really homeless, but they were definitely the town drunks. So they were you always just saw them like hanging around downtown or on the beach. And there was one that always rode his 10-speed everywhere. And they were really super friendly, but they were just drunk all the time. And the one of them, he'd like ride his 10-speed everywhere. And I used to ride my like banana seat, my low rider Schwinn with the ape hangers everywhere I went. I was like 16. And he would always call me Little Red, be like, Little Red Riding Hood. So when like, whatever, 5-6 years later, when I started my channel, then I was just like, I'm going to call it Red Rider. Like, so yeah, I definitely think like those are the better names when it's just like something natural.
Yeah.
By the way,
the best nicknames always seem to be the ones that somebody else gives you.
Totally.
I'm glad you answered that, because that was one of my questions I was going to ask you, was where did Red Rider come from? Yeah. I've never known that. But I've always known you. So when did you start your YouTube channel?
I started it, I guess like, oh shoot, like what was the date of it? It was in October. Someone just told me, actually, someone that I know was like, hey, it was this day you started your YouTube channel. And I was like, oh, I didn't even know that. I think it was like 4 years ago, and like last October would have been 4 years ago.
Okay.
So, but I didn't like, that's when I officially like started like the YouTube, like made the YouTube account, I guess. But I didn't start posting videos right away, I don't think. And then I didn't really get serious about it until later. So I think it's been 3 years technically where I've been like seriously putting videos out.
I've probably been watching you then from like maybe not the absolute beginning, but fairly close to it then. For some reason, I thought you'd just been putting stuff out a lot longer than that, because even stuff from a few years ago, like you do a really good job. Like you're, producing it and putting it all together into a package that you can actually sit down and watch, because you know how it is. Sometimes people make YouTube videos and it's like they're taking a video of the bike, they're taking a video of the floor, and then you got to listen to them.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's like they don't try to edit or anything, or don't even. Yeah, I appreciate you saying that though, because I'm like, I definitely don't think that side of stuff's my strong suit. I definitely, like, when I look at my very first videos, I'm just like, I don't know why anybody subscribed to me. I'm like, these are crap. Like,
thing. I look back at old stuff. Like, oh, this is terrible. This footage is awful. I would have thrown this whole thing away. The audio is terrible. Blah blah blah. We're our own worst critics, though.
Yeah, my audio is definitely terrible. I filmed and edited everything on an iPhone, like this old iPhone 6, like my phone that I was using at the time, and I remember, like, I would make videos in my garage, and my shovel head had just had the engine rebuilt. So at the time I was trying to figure out starting it, like I was trying to get it like dialed in again with like having a brand new engine and all this stuff. Well, the top end redone anyway, but so I was trying to get it dialed in again, and I remember, and I was trying to get like the carburetor tuned up properly and stuff. And so like a lot of my first videos were just that, like me having issues. One of my very first videos that got like I think the video that kind of pushed my channel over the edge for being able to be monetized was me kickstarting it for the first time after the top end had been redone. And it had been like, if you go back to like some of my first videos, it's just me. It's like a 2-minute clip of me like kicking it in my sweatpants and like a tank top. And then it starts up and I just like give a thumbs up, and like everyone in the comments is like, it's Janis Joplin. But I remember, like, we'd been like kicking, me, my brother and my dad, I think, had been for like 3 days taking turns kicking it. And because it was so hard. I don't know if it's normal, but like when you have a fresh top end, I don't know if it's normal for it to be super hard to kick. But it was like after it had run, it was way easier to kick over after that. So I was just like, is it just because like the rings and everything, like nothing's seated yet? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know that stuff, but I just remember like my one leg, like I had to take like a 3-day break in between all of that because my leg was like literally dead from kicking it for the first like 2 days. Like, and then I realized afterwards that the air cleaner that I had on it was just restricting the air too much for it to actually start. So that was kind of stupid. It was just like, wow, I just like wasted all these kicks. Like,
that's funny how that goes. That kind of stuff has happened to me too, where you like bang your head against the wall trying to figure something out, and then it's just something like really stupid and dumb.
I remember how I even figured it out that it was the air cleaner was because we were like, like trying to go, like, anyone who has like Kickstart, like old Kickstart Harleys knows, it's like until you figure out like what each individual bike has its own little like different like starting sequence, right? Like its own little different things that it likes. So it's like trying to figure out like how much gas does it want? Like, does it want the choke open all the way or open halfway or like not open at all, and all these little things. So like I took the air cleaner off to look inside and see what the gas was doing, like how much, like how wet it was actually in there and stuff. And then it started with the air cleaner off. But every time I'd put the air cleaner back on, it wouldn't start. So then I was just like, okay, obviously the air cleaner is like screwing stuff up. But yeah, it was like, that was like the first video, that one of the kickstarting it, I think, that actually like made my channel take off. But watching videos like after that, it's like poor, like such crappy audio. Like half my face is like not even in the frame. Like it's just like, what were you doing?
That's okay though. People were still watching.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny you're talking about like bikes having the different kickstart personalities. That's definitely true. I've got not counting my own, there's 2 bikes here right now that are kick only bikes, and they're just like so different in what you have to do to start them. And
Yeah.
yeah, one of them wants the carburetor set up with no accelerator pump turned on. It's a Super E. So I have the accelerator pump completely off, and
Oh, geez.
and it's fine.
Really?
It doesn't need it. You pull the enricher on and kick it through 2 or 3 times with the key off, with the ignition off, and turn the ignition on. And if it doesn't go first kick, it'll go second kick. And it's been every time. I rebuilt that carburetor in the process of working on this bike for this guy. And yeah, it's like it just doesn't want any accelerator pump at all. And then the other bike's like totally different.
So you just have the accelerator pump disabled completely? Or you just don't use it when you're starting? So really? Like, why did you decide to do that to begin with?
He brought it to me, and he was like, yeah, you can, turn the accelerator, to that screw right there.
Oh, I didn't know you could just get rid of it. I guess I could have looked.
If you turn the accelerator pump screw is backwards. So like when you run the throttle, and stop me if I'm telling you something you already know, but you see it like that arm goes back.
Yeah.
So as that goes, that pushes the rod down to the diaphragm to actually push the fuel up. But you can, if you run the screw all the way in, when you run the throttle, the accelerator pump does nothing. It doesn't squirt anymore.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So there's one bike that's here right now that just that's what it wants, is just no accelerator pump. And I have had no reason to turn it on, because even with like a snap throttle, it takes it fine. So I don't know what jets. Well, I do know what jets are in it. I think that one's jetted 3172. It's in. I keep notes like crazy. It's in one of these. But
it's a good idea, actually. That's something I should have done more with my bikes, is just like keep notes of what. Yeah, like the jets, like what jet. I don't remember what jets I've got in my shovel head even, but I do know I jetted it down a little bit because it was running too rich. Yeah. So what's the bike that you have the no accelerator pump?
It's your shovel head. It's a 75.
Oh, okay.
It's not in here. You can't see it over my shoulder. It's out. It's outside the second, and then the one that has the accelerator pump turned on is another shovel head. It's a 76, which I guess I can pick that. Oh, this is weird because I'm doing this backwards. That one, not the Evo Sportster. That one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The shovel head back there. Yeah.
And then my bike wants the accelerator pump on. Hang on, I'm gonna get something to drink.
I'm going to say hi to everybody in the chat. Hi, everybody. Chip says the Kickstart videos are good, so thanks, Chip. Chip's one of my first subscribers, too.
People love Kickstart videos.
It's crazy, hey? They always get views.
They do. They always get views, and you're always going to get somebody to tell you that you're doing it wrong. I get a lot of people who tell me that I kickstart my bikes wrong because I'm not a very big guy, and I always get comments. I bet you get them, too. Where people are like, you're doing it wrong because I kick like off to the side and jump. And, like, scissor kick. Yeah. And I think that's what works for smaller people.
Yeah.
A lot of people are like, no, you got to put your knee on the seat and kick it like that, or stand over the bike and kick it like that.
It doesn't work for me like that. Like that either. And it depends on what the bike is too. Like my dirt bike, it's easier for me to stand over the bike, like with my legs, like standing over the seat or whatever, and kick it like that. But trying to kick something like my shovel head, trying to stand over it, like I've tried, and it's funny. Like the people will come on there and they'll try to like tell you like how to kick your own bike. Like, dude, like, do you not think I know? Like, like really? Like okay. But it's just like, yeah, I have people that'll come on there all the time and tell me like, oh, you shouldn't stand off to the side like that. But I do it for 2 reasons. My legs are really short. So if I try to stand over top of the bike, like straddling it, it's like my leg is always hitting the shock. I'll just end up with a huge bruise on the side of my knee, and I can't get the momentum. Like putting my knee up on the seat, like it just depends on the bike, I think, too, is like.
Yeah, every once in a while I'll find one that I do kick better on the seat. Like it depends too, like on the kickstand and like the bars and how the bike
angle.
yeah, the angle, like how it wants to fall. Hippie sent some money. Thanks, dude. Hippie's in the chat.
Oh, hey, Hippie.
Hippie's Chopper Corner. I'm reading.
Yeah,
I'm scrolling back up through the chat. Oh, there's Craig from Australia. Bradderkin says your videos on the remote brake master cylinder was incredibly well executed. You might have to talk about that because I don't know what he's talking about.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah. My dad did a remote master front brake master cylinder on my shoulder head.
I can send you, if you like this shirt. It says Sunday service, and some guys pulling their hair out, I guess supposed to be praying over a bike in the shed while the guy
that is such
doing. Yeah, this is
is that your shirt?
No,
is that like one of yours?
Designed by what's his name? Gorgeous George, and this was printed by Ronnie, Barbecue Run Ronnie. Y'all might know her. Yeah. She's like a few hours north of me up in North Carolina. She Chateau Printing's her company.
That's an awesome shirt.
Yeah, it's killer art. She did another run of them a few months ago, and I grabbed one from her, which is funny. And then we'll get back to the brake master cylinder thing, talking about nicknames like we were earlier. The postage for that was one of my favoriteest things I've ever gotten, because it just said to Buttcrack from Barbecue Ronnie.
That was perfect. Yeah. Definitely an envelope you want to save.
Got to bounce. We'll see you later, man. Thanks for jumping in the chat. A little bit. Thanks for throwing some cash our way too.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, what's this remote master cylinder thing?
So I have a video on my channel of. So if you've looked at my bike, or if you've seen, paid attention to my bike, yeah. So on this side, yeah. So that's the brake side. But you can see there's no master cylinder up on the bar there. I don't know how big that is for people watching. They might have to zoom in. But on the handle, I just got the brake lever. But there's no master cylinder up there.
Oh yeah, I see it now.
A lever and a cable. So my bars are super clean. I just have the brake lever on the right and then the clutch on the left. So I made a video of how my dad did that. And because my tank is off of an old Honda, it's got a huge tunnel. So there's actually tons of room between the frame and the tank, where the tank is actually sitting on the frame. So there's a bunch of room down there. So my dad got an old master cylinder off of a 1970s Jap bike of some sort, I think, that he has hidden underneath the tank there. So if you see so that it's on the opposite side of the bike. So the master cylinder's under the tank, or kind of in the tunnel of the tank on the left-hand side of the bike. And all you can really see are just the brake lines coming up. When my bike's down on the ground, you can't see the master cylinder at all. When I have it jacked up on the lift behind me, then you can kind of see where it is. But yeah, I had a few people asking me about that. That's one question I had a lot on my channel. It's just where's your brake cylinder? No front brake and whatever, because people just automatically they don't see it.
Now you say it, and I know to look for it. I can see the brake line going through the forks of the Springer, and then under the tank.
Mm-hmm.
Which I've never noticed that on your bike before. Now that you say that, as many times as I've seen that bike, I've never noticed that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and it changes the look so much of a bike. I feel like when you can have your bars just totally clean looking like that. Yeah. So my dad's done that, I think, with a couple bikes in the past. But yeah, he normally likes to try to tuck things in and whatever, and make parts that are necessary parts to have, or not that a front brake's technically necessary, depending on who you talk to, but yeah, it's nice just to be able to hide stuff and whatever. And I really wanted, when my bike was going together, I really wanted it to have a super minimalistic look to it. So that's why it doesn't have signal lights, and that's why it's open primary, so just to keep it the bare necessities to operate, basically, and still be safe.
I agree. Cleaning up the handlebars looks great. And I was talking with a guy who's customer and a buddy who came by the shop today, and he's just running just back brakes on his bike. And we were talking about that, and I was like, dude, I can't live like that. I have to have front brakes on anything that I own. But yeah, I agree that getting the master cylinder off the bars just looks so much better.
It makes such a difference because I feel like it's like having the big, like even just looking at my Dyna right now with the massive master cylinders on the bars, it's just like, I feel like it draws your eye to that point. Right. Like it's so chunky, right? Like, but the Dyna, the wide guides are kind of chunky anyway. But
you have 2 bikes right now, is that right?
Technically I have 1, 2, 3.
I know how that goes.
I think I have like 5 that are running. I have like 5 that I could technically just hop on and ride. 5.5 if you want to count the mini chopper.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Like, the little orangey red thing.
Yeah.
That looks so you got the Cyberpunk shovel head, and then
my Dyna.
Dyna.
Yeah.
What do you call the Dyna? Does it have some funny name?
Johnny Crash. I don't name my bikes normally. Like I don't name my vehicles. I'm just not like that. I never have been. But this one ended up getting a name because it was basically like my YouTube. It's my YouTube bike. I kind of say because I bought it. I like my whole, like from the day that I bought it to the day that it went on the road, like it's all documented on my YouTube channel. So I've got like a whole playlist of like me going to pick it up, taking it apart, like doing all the work to it. And then I was calling it my crash bike because it was actually an insurance write-off. So I got it for cheap. Like it had, I got it for $4,500. So $5,000 after tax, and then it only had 4,500 kilometers on it when I got it. So which is like 3,000 something miles. So it was basically brand new when I got it, like the engine. But I called it my crash bike because the reason why it was an ICBC write-off is because one of the guy that owned it before, his girlfriend, I guess, like ran it over with her car. Or whatever, his ex-girlfriend or something. So she like ran it. Pardon?
Was this on purpose?
On purpose, yeah. Purposely, like I don't know, like some scenario or whatever, some drama. But anyway, so it was all like smashed up when I got it. I should have sent you some of the before pictures, but yeah, so we changed a bunch of stuff, my dad and I. So I was calling it my crash bike. And then someone in my channel told me it looked like Johnny Cash. It reminded them of Johnny Cash. Like after I painted it black and it was just like black and chrome. And then I was just like, it's Johnny Crash. Like, so yeah, that's the name it's got.
I knew it had a name. I couldn't place it though. I didn't realize that you had bought it as we would call that a salvage title bike here, but man, I just Googled it real fast. 5,000 Canadians, $3,600 US for maybe some more of my viewers. That's cheap. Like you can't beat that.
For a Dyna, like for an Evo, like a brand new, like just broken in early Evo engine, it's like a 94 Evo. So it's like after, well, I think like I hear people say all the time the 90s Evos were better than like the earlier ones. I don't know. Like I've never actually worked on an Evo or whatever. I did a bunch of like reading. I just made a video about the Evo engine or whatever. But I've heard people say that like in the 90s, like you probably know a lot more about the Evo engines than I do, or you don't really work on Evos, so do you?
No, I don't do a lot of Evo stuff. I own one now. I just bought one. And part of the reason, Angel, that I bought an Evo was because they're like reliable. But B was because I actually get so little Evo stuff through the shop that I wanted to have like something that I could work on like as a learning experience because like there's I think there's 15 bikes here right now, 4 of which are mine, and then so that 11 of them are customer bikes, and everything's a shovel head with the exception of 3. So Yeah, so there's 8 shovel heads here, 2 twin cam Dynaglides, and
Hmm.
1 flathead here right now. There's not a single Evo bike here right now as a customer bike. And
Oh yeah.
I think the last Evo bike I worked on for someone was, geez, it was like back in the summer. It was like
Hmm.
August or
Yeah.
September. So it's been a while.
Yeah, I haven't worked on any Evos yet. Mine needs the base gaskets done.
Yeah,
So I'm looking forward to, pardon?
I think that's pretty common on those.
Yeah, apparently like the stock base gaskets are just super cheap, like paper gaskets from what I've heard. But yeah, I haven't actually opened it up. I'm gonna put some like some like nice Cometic gaskets in there when I do it. And but yeah, like my Evo, it definitely is reliable. Like so I've put, oh, what have I got? I think I've got like 14,000. I've put like 10,000 kilometers on it since I've been riding it. But yeah, it's not a bad looking bike. I get like, I don't know, like it's definitely not my style. Like, but I always am just like, okay, I gotta have one bike that I just don't care what it looks like. Like I don't care what my dyno looks like. It's good. It's like a good reliable bike.
Yeah.
Pardon?
I said I think it's good looking. It looks fine to me.
Yeah, it's not my, like, I don't think it's a bad looking bike. I get a lot of people like compliments on it and stuff like that. I would want to change the rear fender, like just looking at this picture of it even or whatever, is just like I don't like those ducktail fenders. So I'd like to have like more the early style like shovel head fenders or whatever, like the ones that actually go down, like
Yeah.
or whatever. I don't know what that style's called.
I
But
don't even know what you mean.
yeah. So I would like to change a couple things on it. I've just never really been into the wide glide. Like I've never liked the look of the wide glide, like the tanks or the front end. I'm more like the FXR to me is like got a way better like it's just got like a way better look to it. Like looking at it straight on, like I love like that it's more narrow. I love the narrow look. And that was one thing with my shovel head too, that like I told my dad, I was just like, Dad, like I want to be able to look at my bike like from the front and have nothing sticking out that doesn't need to be like I love just like the narrow look. And like my oil bucket, he like actually tucked in, like I show this stuff on one of my videos of my shovel head. I do like the close up like walk around, but like the oil bucket, all the FX oil buckets, they always like stick out to the side or whatever. And then you have like your dipsticks coming out the side of the oil bucket there. So like my dad like tucked mine in and then he like moved the dipstick to the top of the oil bucket underneath the seat. And but yeah, that's just like, I've never liked like the wide look of like the dyno wide glides and stuff, but it's fine. It's a good bike. Like it gets me where I need to go. It's never let me down. Like it's been a really good bike.
Yeah, I agree with you. I like narrow too. I finished up a top end today on a 81 FXE, and it had the like the narrower. I don't know what they are, 3.5 gallon tanks or so, which is such a nice change because so many bikes I get or that I see have like the big 5.5 gallon, big chunky tanks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so like the narrow glide front end, or I guess that's probably more like a mid glide on that one, but still.
Mm-hmm.
It's still a FX front end, and then the smaller tanks. Like I like that profile so much better. I agree with you. Keeping it tight
Totally.
looks really good. I think OUT Old Guy Troll 3712. Is that your dad?
Old ugly troll. Yeah, my dad.
Yeah.
He says I paid 4,000 and they were asking. Okay, they were asking 4,500. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, $3,000 for that Angel. That's awesome. Yeah, you did good on that.
Yeah. It was a steal, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it definitely needed a lot of work. I had to get it inspected and stuff like that. So it is rebuilt status right now, like is on the title. Mm-hmm. But whatever, that only matters if I want to sell it one day, which I don't think I ever will, because like Evos are, becoming the next shovel heads for like being for how desirable they are.
Yeah, I've done a video about that, about like how, shovel head prices have just gotten stupid in the last 5 years or so.
Yeah.
And it's like
Uh,
pretty cheap. Like,
mhm.
you know, anyone could buy one and build one. And now it's like you go buy a $5,000 shovel head, you're going to sink $5,000 into it just to get something like reasonably reliable that you can actually ride, which is crazy.
I hate thinking about it because I sold a shovel head engine shortly after my bike was finished being put together. I sold one for like $1,500,
Oh, geez.
like an 83 shovel head, like last year of the just shovel head. Oh, and it makes me so mad. But I mean, maybe I shouldn't be too mad because it would have been I guess it still probably would have been oh, no, because AMF sold an 81. I feel like it still would have had AMF parts, but maybe not. Maybe it would have been a good, yeah, I don't like thinking about it because it makes me like so mad that I sold it for that cheap, like that I sold it at all.
Yeah, that's really cheap. But what can you do?
It wasn't cheap then though, like at the time, but that's just like how quickly the prices freaking went up.
I think about that sometimes with like cars and trucks and stuff that I've sold over the years.
Mm-hmm.
I had a 75 F100. I owned it for years, and it was junky. I paid $400 for it. It'd been sitting in the woods for like 25 years, and I dragged it out of the woods and pulled it up on a trailer and brought it home and went through it to where it would run and drive. And I drove that truck every day for like, I don't know, at least 4 years, maybe closer to 5, 3, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 years. I drove it for several years. I put a bunch of miles on it. I really loved the truck. And then I turned around and sold the thing for like $1,500 or $1,600. And I was like, yeah, I did great. Like I drove it for a couple years. I quadrupled my money. And like now you can't even buy like a cab of one of those trucks for $1,500.
Right. Was it a short box?
No, it's a long bed. It's a single cab with a small tree on the tree. So it wasn't like a super desirable combination anyways, but even
3 on the trees, like doesn't everyone want? Okay, I didn't have, but my dad had, and I drove it for like 2 years, a 68 F100 that was like manual everything, but it was a straight 6 and a long box. But my brother had like done all the body work on it. So like the body was beautiful. He like redid, like it was a farm truck for a long time. So like the floor had rotted out. So he replaced all the sheet metal like in the floor and everything. And it was like super low miles because it had just been driven on a farm, like hauling hay back and forth forever. And then I drove that for like 2 years. But like, yeah, and then we sold it, for like $2,200 or something like that. And like, yeah, I miss that truck so much though. I still remember like the sound of it and everything, like, and like just like strong arm steering. I remember like just getting used to that, but I could like parallel park. I was like I was like, man, I can parallel park this truck like better than most people can parallel park their freaking Honda Accord. Like I was like so proud of it.
You can actually see out of that stuff though.
Yeah.
Somebody's getting after it. I don't know if y'all can hear that. Street light flying by.
Yeah.
I have all
taking advantage of that.
And the door's shut. But in any event, yeah, you can actually see out of that stuff, which is what I like. So it makes it easy to park.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it definitely does. Yeah, it's like my 4Runner in the summertime when I take the top off. It's like no blind spots.
I didn't know you could take the top off a 4Runner.
The older ones, I don't know if the new ones do. Mine's a first gen, or I guess it would technically be a second. Well, first gen body style still. So it was an 87 4Runner, but the whole black part, it's like fiberglass. It just comes off. It's like 10 bolts or something like that. Hold it on.
Yeah, it's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, and then it's got like the roll bar in there. So I love that truck.
Those have the little 4-cylinder that the pickup trucks used to have.
Pardon?
Do those have the little 4-cylinder that pickup trucks had? Yeah,
mine's got the 22R. So that's like before the 22RE is when they were fuel injected.
Yep.
They're supposed to be a pretty solid engine though. Mine needs work though. It's pretty freaking gutless right now. But I'm not prepared to like get into that.
Turbo.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I should. I definitely need to I feel like it needs I don't know. Okay, I don't know anything about car stuff. Like everything that I do on my cars, like I learn like as I go. So I feel like it needs the top end redone because it's super gutless, but I also just put like a new header on it, and I think that might be kind of taking some of the power away. Like, I don't know. I'm not a professional when it comes to that stuff. I definitely like need some professional advice for my truck right now. But so far it's like just keeps running, so I'm not gonna complain. Yeah.
Keeps running. Yeah,
It keeps running. Like I'm definitely running rich. But yeah. It's another project.
Yeah, that's I feel you on that. I mean, I maintain my truck because I kind of have to, but also like I'm not doing anything to it that I don't have to do. Like it just gets basic maintenance and then goes about its life as getting used and abused as a work vehicle and
right,
a farm vehicle or whatever. But
yeah, sometimes I wonder like if I didn't have my motorcycles, like how much less neglected my trucks would be. Like my motorcycles definitely take priority when it comes to like the maintenance and time and money and stuff that I put into my machines.
But look at it. How could you not?
I know, right? It's so funny too because like my shovel head or my dina, anytime something on there needs to be like fixed or I need to spend money on it, I'm just like, this is so stupid. Like, but my shovel head, I'm just like, oh, my shovel head needs like new grips. My shovel head needs like this fancy setup for the carburetor that it doesn't actually need. I'm like totally happy just to spend money on it. It's definitely like my favorite child. Like,
it's funny how we all seem to have that, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Who have multiple bikes. Like, I don't know, maybe it's because I just haven't had enough time with it yet, but that Road King that I just bought, that Evo bike, I'm just kind of like, it's been sitting outside for literally like 2 weeks straight. And I want to stay there, but I don't have the space for it in here. Mm-hmm. And so that's what always happens if I need to make space in the shop, is that one of my own things gets like sacrificed to the elements. Yeah. And it's just been sitting outside and I'm just kind of like,
Yeah. Have you not ridden it much?
I've put maybe 400 or 500 miles on it since I bought it. It needs a set of tires. I actually have, well, you probably can't see them. They're in between the two Dynaglides back there. I have a brand new set of tires for it. Mm-hmm. I just haven't made the time to set the thing up on a lift and pull the wheels out and then take the wheels with the tires to the local shop who does them. They're, 30 minutes away. So I'd have to spend the time to jack the bike up, pull the wheels out, throw them in the car, throw them in the truck or whatever. And then go take them and then wait 2 or 3 days for them to put them on and then come back and, pay for them and then come back and put them back in the bike. So I really haven't been riding it that much. I've been riding my Ironhead a lot lately, which always seems to be the bike that I just get on when I want to go ride. I tend to get on the Ironhead, and the Shovelhead still, I'm using a laptop so I can turn you all around. There's the Shovelhead transmission. It's still in the vise currently. So I still need to finish. I need to put shift forks in it and shim them and time the shifter and all that. And then that'll be back in action. I have actually have a trip planned with that bike at the end of the month. So I need to get on it.
Nice. Yeah. I've worked on I feel like I've been involved in too many of those transmissions over the last couple of years. I'm like so tired of these things. Like,
I have good videos on the transmissions. They've helped me.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah,
for sure.
Mm-hmm. I definitely those videos of mine don't get the most views, but I think that's just because there's other people out there that are more knowledgeable than I who are making videos like that.
Excuse me.
So it's definitely, but yeah, it's funny because it's like I feel like I've worked on those drivetrains so much recently with the Shovelhead my dad and I just built, and it's like every time though that I'm getting into it, I'm just I feel like I'm just oh, okay, how does this all work again?
I feel that anytime I get into a transmission, I have to get the manual out and stop and like double check myself and make sure I'm doing it right and sit down and sometimes watch video. I've literally sat down and watched one of my own videos to remind me how to do something.
Mm-hmm.
But what I was going to say is that you said that your videos about like doing stuff like that, like fixing the transmission, like deep dive kind of things, don't get a lot of views. Mine don't either. Anything like sort of like how to that I put up or that's like real technical, those will usually be some of my lower performing videos. And I have a theory. This is just as Paul's patent pending theory, is that the only people who watch those videos are your like super loyal subscribers who watch everything that you put out, and then B, someone who actually needs to know how to do that job. And
totally.
Then everybody else who subscribe to you, they subscribe to you because they like your bikes or they like you or they just like content. They don't really care about like set this end play to 8 thousandths or this to this many foot-pounds. They just don't care.
Yeah, totally. I totally have come to the same exact conclusion. It's just like, like the people on my channel are not there for like those kind of technical videos. But I think like, and even the stuff that's like, you know, the fabricating and like little tricks and stuff like that my dad has taught me or that my dad will help me make videos of stuff sometimes, even those don't get really watched. But I think that is because it's like people on YouTube are on YouTube for entertainment purposes a lot of the time. And so it's like how much of that stuff are people actually looking for the information, like to be informed. Like, and then if they are looking for that kind of information, like my channel isn't typically the kind of channel that is providing that kind of information. So it wouldn't be drawing that traffic, right? Like our channels like yours and mine, like maybe your channel more than mine, maybe you're providing a little more like of the technical side of stuff and whatever. But I feel like there's other bigger channels out there, like just guys that are more experienced, like Tatro Machine and like Pacific Mike, like these guys that are like have been doing it for like as long as we've been alive. And like, you know, like those are the people that people are automatically going for like advice or for, you know, like technical stuff.
I totally agree. I think you and I are kind of in like a lot of the same place on YouTube where like people are watching it just because they like us or they like to be entertained and they like to see how to fix stuff, but they don't necessarily care about all the nitty-gritty. And that's fine.
Yeah, totally. It's just like finding your niche, right? Like, and it's like you always hear the people like you like YouTube people saying, let's like find your niche, blah, 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 like figure out what people like about you. Like, and it's totally true. And like something like Tatro, like no one's ever going to go to my channel for like to rebuild a shovel head engine before they go to his channel. Like I'll go to his channel and like his videos seem so mundane and like drawn out and whatever, and he'll have like a whole playlist of him rebuilding like one engine. But it's like when you start watching it, it's like, man, this guy's like just giving you like information and stuff like that you would never know from reading a manual, and like that most people who do that kind of work don't know because they haven't been doing it for as long. And like he's teaching you stuff that it's like you have to have been doing it and have the hands-on experience to be able to even be giving that kind of advice, like the tricks and stuff like that you get. Like I love watching his video. Like I'll totally like get like right absorbed into one of like to those kind of videos, and just like because they are like way more informative than anything I could ever do. Like I'm basically just like, oh, this is what the manual says and this is how I'm gonna do it. Like
I'm right there with you. I'm very much like a read and obey kind of person. But like you said, like it's so great to be able to. I think it's cool that people like that are willing to share their knowledge and like put it out there for, I think you and I are around the same age, for people like us to keep this going, because we're going to be the ones eventually like in their shoes in 20 or 30 or 40 years or whatever. So all those little tips and tricks and like, do you have any of the Donnie's books, Angel?
No.
Oh, you should grab them. I got one right here. I got 2 or 3 of them. This is a Evo one. They're Donnie's unauthorized technical guide.
Oh.
Like they'll like, I just opened a page. So like they've got like stuff that's just like straight out of the manual. Like there's ignition timing.
Yeah.
But then like he'll have kind of like his own little thoughts and stuff. So he'll say, once again, manuals say to use a clear plastic timing plug to view the timing mark, but I, for one, cannot see through it. Then he says, if not using a timing plug, let the engine run for a minute till the oil pretty much stops squirting out of the timing hole. This clouds the timing plug and makes viewing difficult. Once it's been running a while, then you should be able to see through it and see your timing dot better. Like it's like he puts in little stuff like that. That's like, it's out of the shop manual, and then he'll have notes, and then he'll pull stuff from like the old shop dopes, those, or like, here's some stuff. I should probably read this section. I should bookmark this. Magneti Morelli EFI specialty tools, because that Road King I bought has that fuel injection on it. Like,
yeah. So he goes all the way, like he goes like basically like from the beginning of the Evo to like the end.
Yeah, this is Evo 84 to 2000. It's, I don't know, it's probably
the entire Evo. It's the entire like Evo lifetime.
It's the whole
That's
Evo
so
lifetime.
Cool.
And then he's got well, this is just one of them. I don't know where my there's 2 books for Shovelhead. This is the second volume. My other one must be in the house. My first one. And I've got you get the idea, but they're really good books. I actually think someone here on YouTube probably wrote me a comment about them. It was like, hey Paul, check out the Donnie's books. Like there's a bunch of good information.
I need to find that, man.
Yeah, they're not cheap. I think they're fairly expensive, but I use them a lot. That's like I'll go factory shop manual, and if I can't figure out in factory shop manual and YouTube whatever I'm doing, then I'll pick up the Donnie's book. Your dad says he's Canadian. He just died recently. I did not know that.
Oh, what? Really? No. Shoot. Why isn't nobody talking about? Yeah, I need to get myself some Donnie's books. Those are like.
I'm reading off the back of the one of these books as I'm putting them away. It says he operated heavy duty cycles in Toronto, Canada for 36 years.
What? So he knows everything. That's so cool. I'm so glad he wrote it down. Yeah, you're right. Like it is so cool that people like that, like they do just want to like, they're willing to like share their knowledge with like the younger generation.
Do you watch Ralph at It's My Time, Let's Go? Also Canadian?
No, I don't watch a lot of anything, to be completely honest. Like it's really rare that I sit down and like watch anything.
I like binge watch. I'll go like a whole week without watching anyone else's YouTube because I'm so busy with like my own world. And then I'll sit down like, and I'll just like, I'll watch you and I'll watch Hippie and I'll watch Ralph and I'll watch Slick and excuse me. And I'll watch some other like channels that I subscribe to, but I'll like watch everybody all at once.
What's this Ralph channel?
His channel is It's My Time, Let's Go. He's doing a series right now about putting a Shovelhead back together that'd been like, I think it'd been on fire or in a flood.
Yeah.
It was some like catastrophic, like biblical thing happened to it. Basically, it just roached, like destroyed.
Oh, geez.
And he's been like putting it all back together. And Ralph's an older guy. He's in his early 70s, and he's been running a Harley machine shop and fixing shop for like, I don't know, like 30 years or something like that. Maybe 35.
Cool.
And, I've got a Cervicar here right now. It's a 55, and I don't know anything about Cervicars. I bought the 45 Cervicar manual, but I actually got Ralph's phone number, and I talked to him on the phone like 2 weeks ago. Maybe it's closer to 3 weeks ago now. And he was so helpful. He was so nice, and he talked to me for like 20 minutes on the phone. And he's like, check this, do that, try this, blah, blah, blah. And like you said, he's just was willing to pass on some information to the next generation, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, it is cool. It's definitely like, oh man, just thinking too, like about guys like him and like, people in his generation and like my dad and stuff like that. And like, they didn't have like this like wealth of information on the internet, like what we have, like everything that they did. And that's how come they have like all these like these little tricks and stuff like that up their sleeves. Cause it's like, they had to learn everything by trial and error. Yeah. Or like my dad was teaching me how to lace and true wheels here. Like spoked wheels. And so I was doing it on that mini bike because I crashed that thing a while ago and I totally screwed up the front end. And anyway, so he was teaching me how to like lace and true wheels. And yeah, that's my dad. And that's him on that Evo chopper that he built around the time that I was born. But yeah, he's teaching me how to do this. And he's like, making sure that I do it like properly, and like I don't have to spend a bunch of time like trying to figure stuff out. But then he's telling me, he's like, when he learned how to true lace and true wheels, like he got his truing stand off of a friend of his, and the friend, like the guy, whoever told him how, like taught him how to do to true wheels, basically just said like, yeah, you just tighten this and loosen that and whatever. And my dad was like, the first time that he did it, he like totally freaking destroyed he like just did it up just a little bit too tight because he didn't know that you had to be like loosening and tightening, like loosening and tightening like opposite sides. So he was just like tightening, trying to get it straight, and he ended up like blowing out all the spokes. Like, but it's just like stuff like that it's like I didn't have to like go through that. Like it would have sucked to blow out one of the freaking rims that I was working on because it was like something I actually need. But I think dad had like a junk rim that he was practicing on at the time or whatever. But it's like we have like the benefit of having the internet and having like people like in our parents' generations who've like figured it all out by like wrecking stuff and whatever, right? Like,
yeah, that's fun. So how, I'm assuming then that your dad is how you kind of got into this whole thing.
Totally. Yeah. It's totally how. I don't think I would have, I definitely wouldn't have. Cause like growing up, my dad was into bikes and stuff before I was even born. So he had, I think he had like a shop or a couple shops of his own or with friends. Like he'd worked in different shops but he started like building his own bikes when I think when my brothers were just like little. So like my oldest brothers who are like in their 40s now, who when they were just like really tiny, and he started like building bikes, and like he tells stories of like lighting the living room on fire, welding in the living room, like, and stuff, because like they didn't have a garage like him and my mom when they first like got together, and my dad was doing all this stuff with like really minimal tool. I think he'd borrowed a welder from someone and really basic like tools all the time, and slowly like over the course of like 30 something years like built up his tool collection and stuff. But he was always like, that's one of my most prominent childhood memories are just like of there always being motorcycles around, like my dad always being in the garage like working on bikes and or whatever, and there always being guys like coming bringing their bikes around to be fixed. And I remember like thinking as a little kid, like the bikes always parked on the lawn. And I just remember thinking like, why are the bikes allowed to park in the grass and the cars aren't? And like, so it's like, I just like, yeah, I totally like grew up around that. And then, but it was weird. Like I've talked about this on my channel before too, but because it was weird, like I grew up around it. So like, I'm definitely like been around like bikers and just like motorcycles and all that. Like my dad rode the whole time that I was little, and like all of his friends rode, like all the guys that I call like my uncles, like they're not blood related, but they're more family to me than like some of my extended family is. And so like just always those kind of people around. And then when I got into biking, I actually like, so when I was 16, I bought my shovel head, and it's like a basket case. It was just a pile of parts, right? And it came up like it had been like changed hands in like the biker family for like probably like a decade and a half before I got it, or maybe longer, right? And eventually it ended up coming up for sale again, like within the biker family or within the family. And I had been working since the time I was 13, so I had all this money saved up. And my dad was like, Angel, like this would be a great investment for you. If you want to buy it and build it, we can sell it and whatever, you'll make some good money off of it. So so when I bought my shovel head, I never actually had the intention of ever actually keeping it or riding it. Like I never, at that age, like 16, I never thought I would ride a motorcycle. I never thought I would be like I don't call myself a biker, but I never thought that I would be like that would be like my lifestyle. I grew up around it and I loved and I was used to that, like the people and the crowd and everything. And, but my dad would always tell me like, cause I was riding my bicycle. I loved riding my bicycle and I would ride it in like every kind of weather, like that banana seat bicycle of mine, and like all the like ice, rain, snow, like everything. I was always riding it everywhere I went, like as a teenager. And my dad would always tell me like, man, Angel, like you would love riding a motorcycle. You need to get a motorcycle. But in my head, like when I was growing up in the crowds, I grew like at that time, but also just like the crowd is growing up around, like women didn't ride. I think there was like 2 women from my childhood who I remember, one who I remember who rode. And I thought she was so cool, like when I was a little girl, but yeah, like my dad definitely like encouraged that in me. And he would always tell me like, you need to get a motorcycle, Angel, like you'd love riding. And I would always be like, no, Dad, like girls don't ride motorcycles. and then I got into like riding this little dirt bike around, and I ended up just like, getting hooked. And like, now I'm just like, I can't. And now I'm like, I've freaking got a garage full of motorcycles and like, it's kind of ridiculous. But yeah, I couldn't imagine my life like without a motorcycle in it now. But my dad definitely was the one who encouraged that. My mom tried very hard to discourage it. You don't need a motorcycle. I would have, it's just like, you don't need a motorcycle. Like, yeah.
I'm glad that you went with it, because I like watching you, and I have to think, and you can answer this. This isn't necessarily a question, but it's just me talking. I have to think there's women who watch you and watch you do what you do and watch your channel, and they're like, hell yeah, like I can do this too. Like Angel's doing it, so why can't I do that? And like I love that. Like there's room for everybody here, like in our world, regardless of if you're a man or a woman or whatever. And yeah, that's one of my favorite things about watching you, is that, you know, I have to think that like there's other women who watch you who want to get into this too as a result.
There definitely is. And I've had both men and women actually like, oh, you've inspired, like men a lot of times will be like, you inspired me to buy like another shovel head. You inspired me to start riding again. But I've definitely had like women contact me. Like I had one woman from Australia send me a message on Instagram, and she's like, I just wanted to thank you because you like inspired me and like basically like helped her get over her fears of, she's like, you inspired me to pursue my dream. Like I bought a motorcycle and now I'm like in an apprenticeship as a mechanic at Harley Davidson. So like she'd been watching my channel for a while. Yeah. And it's like those kind of like when I get those kind of messages from people, I'm like, that's my favorite thing about my YouTube channel. And it's like, and I don't think of myself as like some, you know, super like inspirational thing or anything. I definitely never went out with that intention to be that, but maybe it's just like the mentality maybe behind it that I've always thought like, well, I've just always thought like there's no reason that I shouldn't be able to do it. Yeah. Right. Unless I'm like literally like physically not capable of doing it. But it's like, I've just always kind of had that mentality where it's like, okay, well, you know, there's no reason why I shouldn't be able to. And there's no reason why anyone shouldn't try something, you know, and that's like at least
mindset.
Pardon?
I said that's such a great mindset.
Yeah, I think that I think it's really important, like, to just remind ourselves of that, like, that there's like, that we are like people, like, we're literally capable of, like, of so much. I think that a lot of people are capable of way more than they give themselves credit for. And a lot of time it's just the anticipation. Like, there's been so many, like, the anticipation of doing something is more daunting than the actual task, is what I've found in, like, in my own experience. And it's like, even working on my cars, and like, and I get girls, like my friends, who will say that stuff to me like all the time. They're like, man, we can't believe you like work on your own trucks and like your own bikes. And like, you know, like, I want to do that stuff, and I've never tried. And I always tell them, like, well, you just gotta try. Like, you just gotta, like, you know, there's especially with like YouTube and like having owner's manuals and stuff like that, it's like, it's all, the information's all there. It's just the will to do it, or like, you know, getting over like the anxiety or the fear. And I've always thought that way is just like one thing that I've always told myself, which is like true. It's a true thought that I've always had in my head since I was like, started doing this stuff for myself. I'm like, there's probably someone out there dumber than me who's done this job before. Like, and if they can do it, I can do it. Like, but that's like, I don't want to sound like rude or anything, but it's just like, that's like my literal like self-motivation. It's like, I'm sure there's someone out there stupider than me who's done this job before, and I'm sure they did it just fine. Like, so.
Yeah, that's funny. I really, sometimes people write comments to me and they're like, wow, you made it look so easy. Like, you did such a good job. I could never do this job. And sometimes I'll write back and I'm like, if my dumb ass can figure this out, like, you can too.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Someone writes in the chat, they said, I was always told can't, never could. Yeah, I've heard that one too.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, I definitely, it is kind of crazy. I feel like that is definitely the most gratifying thing with my channel, is like when I have people contact me and they say like, that I've inspired them to do like whatever it may be. Yeah. But that's also was the least expected. Like, the last thing when I started making videos, like, I never had the like thought my videos would be something that people would come to for inspiration or for knowledge or whatever, right? Like, it was literally just, I don't even know what my intentions were, because it's like, I don't even know if I was like I wasn't even really thinking of being entertaining. I was just kind of like, oh, I'm just gonna put this out there, see what happens. Like, you know.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I think representation matters, right? Like, if a woman or a girl wants to get into this and they see you doing it, then they can see themselves in that sphere and in that space. And you know, that's how, with people being like, yeah, I can do this too. Because someone like you're just being you on camera and doing what you do on camera. And then people get to watch that and be inspired to go do it in their life too, which is awesome. And I think that's great. And, you know, like for me personally, oh, it's outside too. My blue bike, my Ironhead, that was my Aunt Mary's bike. So she rode that bike for over 30 years because she said, I don't want to ride back. I want to ride. And, you know, there's pictures all up around in my shop and stuff here of her on that bike. And, you know, all the adventures she's been on with it, and been to Sturgis and been to Oregon and the Pacific Coast and all that on a little Ironhead Sportster, because she wanted to go ride and she wanted to go do it. And she didn't want to just be the chick on the back. And like, you know, that's cool to me, because like that matters, because that was someone that I saw growing up who was kind of bucking the trend a little bit. And then like, there's people like you still doing it and giving other people, you know, they can sit there and watch it and be like, yeah,
that's so cool. Yeah. And I feel like nowadays you really get this whole, like, I feel like nowadays, like when it comes to like women doing things that have been typically known as like a man's job or whatever, something that you would typically more often see like a man doing, I feel like you get like, it's always an extreme goes to like an extreme extent of like proving some kind of point where like we don't need men in our lives. And it's not just like, you very rare, I feel like, see women who are just doing something because they enjoy it and because they can. Yeah. And like it's like they're, a lot of times you see them out there and they're just trying, they're like, yeah, I can do this and I want to, but you know what? I don't need a man. Like, it's like, okay, well, why? Like, you know, just because you like, that doesn't need to be a part of it. It's like, it has to do with like you being a human, and that's just like an interest that you have. Like, there doesn't need to be some gender like feud going on or whatever, right? Like, oh, by the way, like I can do this too. Like, it's not about that. It's just like I said, like, I feel like a lot of us don't give ourselves enough credit when it comes to the things that we are capable of doing. And I feel like a lot of times it is just like the thought of doing a job a lot of times is more scary than the actual doing it yourself. But I like the fact that I can provide like that kind of content for girls, that it can be inspirational and avoid that whole, you know, gender feud kind of things or whatever, right? Because I'm not out here trying to prove that I don't need a man. I'm just doing something that I enjoy doing, right? And I just am stubborn enough that I will continue to try doing it until I actually have like failed bitterly or have accomplished what I've set out to do.
Sometimes you learn best by failing bitterly. At least I do.
Mm-hmm. Totally. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't tell you all the things that I've screwed up over the years, and then like just like stupid stuff, you know. Mm-hmm. And look back on it later and you're like, what were you doing? Like, what were you thinking?
Totally.
Yeah. But then you learn from it.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes I look at things and I'm like, what were you thinking? And then I'm like, were you even thinking? It's like, where was your brain when you were doing that?
I did one of those today, actually. I gave a bike back to a customer today. And it wasn't in this shop. I'm so full that I was working on it in my little shed where I worked for all those years and where the YouTube channel started and all. And I had a key on the key rack in there, and it was one of the barrel style keys. And so I took off the key rack and I'm like, I guess this goes with this bike. And I put it in and it turns the bike on, and then it starts the bike. And I'm like, oh, this has to be this guy's key. But I have a cabinet over there on the wall with a key rack in, and I'm normally pretty good about putting key tags on all the keys, and I'll write the person's name. But there wasn't a tag on this. I'm like, well, I guess I forgot. So I go ride the bike and everything. And I text him and tell him it's ready, and he comes and picks it up, and he's happy and everything. And then like an hour later, he texts me and he's like, whose keys are this? I'm like, he's like, no, they're not. I'm like, and I got out here and I start looking around, and sure enough, in the key rack, there's a key tag with the key with his name on it. And I'm like, oh, damn it.
Oh man,
your key to my blue bike.
At least it wasn't something worse than that.
Huh?
At least it wasn't something worse than that. It's pretty minimal.
Oh, it is, but it's just like still just like a funny, just like wasn't thinking.
Yeah.
Just picked up the first key that fit the bike and was like, this has to be it. And it wasn't.
Yeah. Buttcrack had a brain fart.
Yeah. And then like I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, oh my God, I just rebuilt this dude's top end. Like, is he like worried about, did this guy did he screw something up? Like, did he put the rings on backwards? Like, did he forget to work something? He gave me the wrong key.
Yeah, totally. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that kind of stuff it's pretty, I don't know. Like, it was like loading my dirt bike the other day. I made that short video of me pushing my dirt bike up like my ramp contraption. And I don't know if you've seen it or not. It's on my Instagram and on my YouTube. And so I'm like pushing my XT. You can see there. I'm pushing that up onto the lift here, or not the lift, but the stand. And I'm like, the front brake, I don't have a front brake cable for it right now. I need to make one or go buy the proper one or whatever, right? So I didn't have front brake. So trying to push it up without a front brake or whatever. But I had like this whole like ramp setup deal going on. So I like had my ramp, and then I was like, I'm going to like make a platform on like a couple milk crates so that I can just step up onto the platform and like, walk the bike up onto the stand. And I like 6 attempts before I even get the front wheel like up onto the stand. But then once I get it up there and I step up on the platform and I start pushing the bike, but like the traction, like I'm getting like all this traction on my ramp, freaking like whatever crate scaffolding setup that I had going on. And then like the freaking thing I'm trying to walk on starts sliding off of the milk crates. And I have the back, like the bike, like halfway on the stand. But I'm like, and then I'm like, oh my, and I instantly start to pray. I'm like, dear God, please don't let this bike fall on me right now. Like, I'm like literally like one of those instantly like cold sweats moment, like I'm gonna die. But it was like same thing, like I remember, and then I luckily I got down safely, and like I had like a half an inch before the ramp that I was standing on would have come off the milk crate, and like everything would have been on top of me, the bike and everything. But it was like so dumb, because while I was setting it up, I did have like a quick thought of like, oh, I should probably put some rubber, in between all this stuff so it doesn't slide.
Yeah.
And then like as quickly as it came, it went. And like, but it was same thing. I was just like, what were you freaking even thinking, Angel? Like literally could have died. Like,
I have those moments sometimes too, where like I'm out here alone, like 90% of the time. Tiffany sometimes she works, but she doesn't work like that schedule. So some days she's home and some days she's not. And then a lot of times on her days off, she doesn't want to just be around the house or like out in the shop with me. She does come out here and she helps, and like she knows some stuff about bikes and tools. Like she's she'll help me get stuff like this Sportster behind me right there. You see it's on my second lift. It's on an air lift, but then it's also got the front end up off the ground, or off the lift rather. So she came out and helped me with that. But the point I'm trying to get out, I'm sorry, I'm a yapper. The point I'm trying to get out is there's a lot of times I'm out here by myself, and yeah, I'll do something like dumb like that, or like get myself into a predicament, and I'm just like, how are you going to get out of this one? And I had one of those happen to me today. You were talking about ramps and stuff. I had a fold out aluminum ramp, and is 1,000-pound rating ramp, like for I think you'd probably call it a quad. We call them 4-wheelers here. And I'd been using this thing for years to go in and out of my shed, and I was getting a bike out of the shed, and the ramp's kind of been on its last legs for a while. And I have 2 other nicer ramps, but this one was the closest one. So obviously it's the one that I grabbed.
Yeah.
Sure enough, I push the bike out, and the back wheel gets about halfway down, and something just goes bang, and the bike just sits down. And one of the little slats, like the aluminum cross slats on the ramp, just the welds completely broke. And so then the back tire like fell through the ramp, and I'm just out there all by myself.
Oh no.
Going to call. It's like 2:30 in the afternoon. So like all my neighbors, they're all at work. Like I can't even call neighbors to be like, hey dude, come help me. And I'm just there like by myself. Like, now what do you do? How'd you get yourself into this one? But
yeah, totally. It's like one of those times where it's just like, if I died like this, it would literally be hours before anybody even knows. Like, yeah, like, it's so ridiculous. I've like definitely been in multiple of those situations where it's just like you end up just having to do things on your own or whatever, right? Like, and yeah, like I can't even remember specifically really, other than like me loading my dirt bike, and that was just because I was super recent. But there's definitely been times like that, like unloading bikes in the dark by myself, like in the rain, like after moving in here and whatever, like unloading the Harleys and just like on a slippery ramp and just like feet start to slip and like everything is just like, oh my gosh, like just ridiculous. I had it one time like that actually in my garage, and it wasn't my garage, it was my brother's garage, but I used to work on my bikes there before I had a garage of my own. And I go to move my shovel head. I was doing something, moving it for some reason, and the floor is like this stamped concrete, so it's like that stuff with like the really slick top. You know, like normally it's in like houses that aren't really made for, it's just made for parking your like brand new car in kind of floors or whatever in your garage. So I go to move my shovel head and my foot slipped, so the bike starts to fall over, and then it's like it goes like I couldn't catch it. So I'm like holding it like from falling over all the way on the ground. And I'm just like standing there like, oh my gosh. And like luckily the house was attached to the garage, so I was able to like yell for my dad, like, Dad. But it was like 10 minutes. Yeah, it was like 10 minutes though before he even heard me. And I was just like holding the bike and like my arms are shaking. I'm like, I'm not going to be able to hold it for very much longer. But it's just like totally like, man, like, yeah, like what do you like? It's just crazy. It's like you think like, man, I should be smarter, but then it's like, well, in the moment, it seems like a perfectly fine idea, right? Like it doesn't seem
like a
dumb.
good idea at the time.
It doesn't seem dumb until things go wrong. Like,
I've run into that on this lift, and where I've pushed a bike up, and if it's a bike that's got like a real long front end, then the back of the bike ends up hanging off. And you like hold the bike up and run around to the front and screw the wheel chock in tight enough all by yourself. And I fought it for a while and I haven't fixed it yet, but I finally realized what I did is that, or what I should do is I can take the freaking wheel chock and just move it up. There's a whole nother set of holes that I could put the bolts through there.
Oh yeah.
So I could just move it further, and then you can push the bike all the way to the wheel stops at the front, but the bikes never touch it. And I'm like, it took me an embarrassingly long time to realize that.
We like totally extended, like the lift that I have is like did yours come with like the removable sides for the ATVs?
No, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah, like they slide onto the side.
Yeah, so like mine came with like the removable sides, but then those removable sides have like short ramp pieces that hook on. So like we totally extended, bolted one of those onto the front of the lift and extended the lift completely and bought a different wheel chock for it. Pardon?
I said that's smart.
Yeah, so and then we bought a different wheel chock for it, and I don't even use like the flippy thing that attaches onto the back that flips like that. I find like those are really hard for me to get a bike over top of by myself, because you got to have like so much more momentum to like have it flip, I feel like. So I just use the front part and then just use a tie strap like around the front wheel or whatever to hold it, and then block underneath the frame. But yeah, like we just extended the lift completely, because it's like it says it's a motorcycle lift, but it's like it's definitely not made for a full-sized Harley. Like it's not made for, because it's like it's so short. We had to extend it like what are those, like 10 inches or whatever, 8 inches?
Yeah. What like brand or whatever is it? Like
it's basically like, I can't move my camera right now, but it would basically be like your guys's equivalent of like a Harbor Freight.
Okay.
It's from like a Harbor Freight, like ours is called Princess Auto. It's basically like Harbor Freight, but it's not like the lowest. It's kind of like it would have been like the upper level, like airlift, like not the cheapest one you can get, but like, probably like two steps up. It looks like your black one, like from what I can see of yours.
The black one, I could take you. I keep forgetting I can pick this up. The black one, that one is a Black Widow lift. So
yeah, so it looks almost just like that one that you've got.
Yeah, that's supposed to be a pretty decent lift for the money, and I've been pretty happy with it so far.
Yeah.
I just ended up with this one here recently. That's a handy lift. So those are like the big high dollar, like fancy go to hell lift.
Oh yeah, that's like a nice, like what they use in the shops.
Yeah, that's like the Mac Daddy lift. And I actually, that handy lift, I am not having to spend any money on. I'm trading the work on this bike, on this 79 shovel head right there for that lift. So
nice.
Always down for a little swap every once in a while. I mean, you can't do it all the time because you got to get paid, right? But
yeah, trades are good.
Trades are good, definitely. I like doing some swapping. So what you got planned for this year? I know it's, well, we were talking about this before we went in live. You were like, oh, it must be warm there. You're wearing a t-shirt, but it's getting warm here. So I assume it's going to be starting to get warm there. What do you have planned for motorcycle season?
So I've spent like the last like 2 or 3 summers just, I feel like not being home very much, like going to all these different like rallies and stuff. And like, I'll go make videos at these rallies, and then I end up spending like a good chunk of the time when I am at home between the rallies, like editing video. So this year, I think I'm going to probably skip out on like probably most, if not all, of the rallies I've gone to the last couple of years, and just spend time at home working on the bikes. Because I've done hardly anything on my bikes, like, because like the last like 2 or 3 summers, I'm just like, I've hardly been at home. And then it's like, you can't really work on a project like 4 days here and then 4 days there, you know, and spread it out over 6 months. Like nothing gets done. You just end up losing parts and losing track of what you've done and whatever, right? Like if you want to, like getting a project done, you need to really be able to focus some good time on it, right? So I think that's what I'm going to do this summer, is I'm going to stay at home and just like, I'm going to focus more of my time spend more time in the garage and just actually working on my project, less time going out to these events and stuff, which I loved. Like I haven't spent really any time like before that going to any of this stuff. So I'm glad that I did like take the time and like, and whatever, and like get out there. But I think this year, I feel like my time would just be much more meaningfully spent if I just stay at home and like work on. I've got so many projects now, and it's like, and now like my shovel head needs to come apart and like have a bunch of stuff fixed on it, just, you know, so that I feel like I'm not running it into the ground, right? Like, so yeah, I think this year I'm just going to try to get as much of that stuff done as I can, and definitely focus a lot more attention on those things than I have in the last couple of years. And that's one of the things, like the tricky things I find with YouTube, is it is as much as it is like, it's cool being able to have like your hobby provide an income, which for you is like you're actually doing it as a business. So, you know, you've got that side of it. But my YouTube is like, I don't do this as a business. This is like my hobby. And then my YouTube, it kind of is like the business side of it. Yeah. But it's tricky. It's hard to juggle like the amount of time that I spend making video. I spend twice that amount of time editing. So, right, trying to juggle like the work that I'm doing on my bikes and then making the videos of it, which makes the work take, you know, 10 times longer sometimes, depending on what you're working on, like trying to think about like where your camera's pointing and stuff like that, right? Like, and then double like the amount of time that you're spending videoing. I feel like you spend editing a lot of the time. Well, depending on what it is you're making video of, but yeah. So I think, so when I'm out there, like doing rallies and stuff like that all the time, like that's basically consuming all my time. Like, cause it's like the travel time, like cause I'm riding my bike everywhere I go, and everywhere that I'm going is normally like like a full day's ride away. And then I'm spending multiple days there, and then a full day's ride home. And then, you know, multiple days editing the video that I take at these places. So it leaves like no time at all. And in the summertime, there's so much of that stuff going on that it's like a week or 2 between events. So it's like basically enough time to get home, edit video, maybe do a little bit in the garage, and then like go back out on the road again to a new event. And so, yeah, this year, I think I'm just going to stay at home. And I'm really like, just even saying that, just like, it feels like so nice just to like think of just like, oh, I'm gonna be in my garage this summer and it's gonna be like so nice. Like I'm not gonna be like worrying about like road trips and like getting somewhere and like yeah. So I think that's my focus this year, and I'm really looking forward to just spending some good like dedicated time like on my projects.
That sounds like a nice, like relaxing summer. Like you describing that like sounds so good.
It sounds so, yeah.
don't realize the amount of effort that goes into producing say like a 25 or 30-minute YouTube video. And especially like you said, you nailed it, like a video where you're working on something, getting the camera out and setting it up and make sure your shots are all good and everything. It makes the job take like considerably longer.
I swear it's like 10 times longer because you have like explaining what you're going to do. And then, yeah.
A lot of times what I do lately, just in the interest of being able to still efficiently work on other people's stuff, because I'm billing them for my time. So they shouldn't be paying me for like it taking longer because I'm filming it. A lot of times what I've been doing, and this is just for me, but is that I won't talk during the video, like during the actual work. I'll just film and I'll go back later and edit it together and do a voiceover. And that makes my go faster. But yeah, it's still a lot of work. What?
You find that like saves time when you're working?
Yeah, it saves me a lot of time because I can, and I don't want to say I've started glossing over stuff, but instead of being like, now I'm going to take this bolt out, now we're going to take this loose, I'll kind of just like, I don't know, like if I'm taking a primary off, like I'll show like draining the oil and then pulling the bolts out of the primary and then pull the cover off and then take the compensator off and take the clutch plates out and take the clutch hub off. And like that whole process in my final video might only be like 45 seconds long. And I'll just start doing it because for me, I end up a lot more efficient, like taking a lot of short little clips and then smashing them together for the final.
Yeah.
Video. But
yeah,
it adds so much time to it. And yeah, I think I'm jealous. You sound like you're going to have a fun summer.
I'm looking forward to it. Man, I've not spent it's been like the last 2 or 3 summers that I've spent just not even being at home. And then it is a lot of work. And like the YouTube thing is, I feel like people like, and you wouldn't, like, if you're not doing it, you wouldn't realize the amount that actually goes into it. And I didn't realize the amount that actually goes into like making and editing videos until I was doing it. And I feel like, yeah, just like the thought of being at home and in my garage, it really is like, it's exciting just to think like I'm going to be in my garage, like with my air conditioner and my like perfectly temperatured beer fridge and like my projects. I'm like, it's going to be so good. My fire pit outside. I'm probably going to hang like a hammock in between the doors too. So like I can like remove it, like have a removable hammock. I'm like, yeah, I'm totally setting this place up. It's going to be like my motorcycle paradise. Like I'm like so looking forward to it.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. That sounds like a good summer. I finally got a fridge out here the other day for all of my my sparkly waters.
Oh yeah.
So yeah. That sounds good. I actually was talking with a buddy of mine the other night and I was like, dude, I'm really, really busy right now. And like, I'm hoping that I can stay that busy into the warm months. And we're going to the beach for a week in June. And what I told him is that'll be like the 2nd or 3rd week of June. Excuse me. Was if I can be like caught up enough on work and have squirreled away enough cash, I think I'm going to try and close the shop for like the second half of June and take 1 week to go to the beach and then take the second week after following getting back that I'm just going to come out here and work on my own stuff because like everything I have needs more. I have 3 bikes that I bought to flip that I haven't touched and I need to get fixed and sold. So that'll be like, a big windfall of cash once they're gone. Yeah, but I haven't touched them, or like my pan head. I haven't touched the pan head yet. I haven't done anything to it other than just
Mhm.
push it over there, and well, you can't see it.
Mhm.
Push it over there,
Yeah.
and like you say, like you just get so busy doing all this other stuff. It's be nice to take a little bit of time and do your own stuff.
Yeah, I think that's really important. Like when you're working for yourself too, is like it's so easy just to get yourself caught up in, just, the expectations of your customers and stuff like that. And like always, just always working. Like, and yeah, it's definitely, I think it's so important just to like try to freaking like take some time to breathe, right? Like spend on your own stuff or like with your family or whatever, right? Like,
Yeah.
so. Mhm.
Well, it is getting, well, it's past my bedtime really, but
It's getting late, yeah.
it's getting a little bit late for me.
It's late for me, but my computer is about to die. I'm actually just looking at the thing right now.
I hadn't even thought of that. Yeah, I'm okay on battery. But before we go, what do you have any closing thoughts? Anything you want to wrap this up with, or anything?
I think just like I want to say like just thanks to everybody who's come to watch, like all the people from my channel, and then like hello to everyone from your channel who I hadn't met yet. And I hope that anyone watching from my channel subscribes to you, because like you're always doing like old school stuff too, like the kind of stuff that people watch my channel for. You're basically doing like the same kind of thing. And yeah, thanks for having me on. And it's good to meet you and get to talk to you in person a little bit. Like it's cool when you like see someone on video all the time, and then it's like they actually are like that kind of the same person that you see on video. If you have like a real life or whatever, kind of as much of a real life interaction as this is or whatever. So, but yeah, and then other than that, it's just I don't know. I hope I just get like a lot of stuff done on my bikes this year. I'm like, that's kind of my goal. I'm like kind of going to challenge myself and see how much I can get done. And yeah.
We're gonna all enjoy watching it. I know I will. And yeah, like I told you before, we went live, like full live, but I know I've already had some people from my channel be like, I had some people who were really excited that you were going to be the guest. And then I also had some people who were like, oh, I'd never heard of her. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, go watch her, go subscribe to her. If y'all like me, you'll like her too. Cause like you said, we're basically doing the same thing, which is cool. And like internet's awesome because we're pretty far from each other. Like you're all the way, you're on the West Coast and up, and I'm on the East Coast and down. So
yeah, we're pretty far away. I'm going to be in Florida here soon though. So
cool.
Yeah. For the Forgotten Angels thing. I'm actually leaving
doing that.
Pardon?
I was going to ask if you were doing the Forgotten Angels thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, I'll be a little bit closer, but yeah, I appreciate you having me on and getting me a little more noticed on the YouTube world and stuff. And hopefully it gets you some extra subscribers and stuff too.
I'm just having fun doing it. Like this is an idea that I've had for a while, and like, I don't know. It's just like you said, it's fun when you can just like someone that you watch and then you can actually sit down and talk with them. And like you said, like you're you and I'm me, and it's just, it's hanging out and a really good time. This has been a fun one. Cool.
Well, thanks for having me on, and it's good to meet you and everything. And bye, everybody.
Yeah, thanks to everybody who showed up. And we've kind of slacked off on reading the chat, but there's been a lot of people chiming in and talking amongst each other and whatnot. So thanks to everybody who showed up and hung out with us tonight. All right, I'm gonna close down. Y'all be good. We'll see you next time.
Bye, everybody.